Okay, it's So Fresh Grooming, and today we have Sadie. And Sierra is going to explain a little bit about double-coated dogs, and I'm going to just ask questions and see if some of the common questions we get will be answered. Okay, what do you think she's a combination of as far as breed, Sadie?
I would probably say a shepherd mix of some sort.
Yeah.
Chow, maybe.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what the owner had said.
She's really thick and she's got a really thick double undercoat.
Okay, so what does that mean? I'm going to bring the camera closer. And this is the side that you haven't really taken the undercoat out. And why wouldn't you shave her?
Well, for one, they need their coat to protect them from the sun, and also it protects their skin from getting scrapes, getting bit by bugs and things like that. And there's always the big possibility of her coat not growing back.
Okay.
Because they have two different types of hair, which they have their undercoat, which is all this fluffy stuff, and then they have guard hairs, which actually take very, very long to grow back, and if they get damaged, the hair follicles get damaged, it won't grow back.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll grow the undercoat back, which causes the nice, like, fluffy, soft coat, and then you always have the thick, like, wiry hairs that come through, which is the guard hairs, which can't come through the undercoat.
Okay. And from what we learned, there was something also about the fact that changing the whole cycle and the seasons of the natural progression of the coat also forces them to go through the same pores, like the guard comb and the undercoat. So that's something else people need to think about. So this is...
See the nice thick undercoat that's all growing through.
How often should someone brush when they have this kind of dog, like a lab and like a shepherd or
I would say
husky?
Probably at least once a week.
Yeah.
And then like a professional groom, I would say like every 4 weeks or
Mm-hmm.
so that because a lot of times when you brush at home, if you don't have the right tools, you don't get all of that undercoat out.
Right.
And most groomers have, special dryers that help blow that out, which actually, makes your dog's coat healthier and doesn't get so thick on them.
Okay, real quick, show us what tools you've used and what somebody at home that might not have everything we have could use. Sadie, you're going to be on television.
Okay, right here we have just your regular slicker brush.
Okay.
And you can go over it and it'll help pull some of the hair out, just kind of, okay, sweet girl. Separate and then just kind of brush and it'll pull it out. And then here are also two different types of rakes that you can use that actually really help pull out some
Without really hurting them,
Yeah.
pulling like their hair.
Yes, and if you do get these, never brush like in the same spot over and over and over because it irritates their skin, and that kind of makes your dogs, everybody wonders why they don't like to be brushed.
Right.
And so when you brush them, just kind of go through one spot, clean it out, and then just kind of work your way back through the whole dog.
Okay. And one other thing I'll add is that if you do it kind of on a regular basis, they'll kind of probably enjoy the bonding of it. And if you're not, so backlogged with the hair like this Sadie is, then it won't be painful, because it kind of is painful because there's just so much. But luckily we have some tools that blow out the coat, and it's kind of is like a little massage, but we get bombarded with a bunch of hair everywhere. So let's turn it around to see the other side of her.
Very good.
And Sadie's 12, so she's doing good.
All right, good girl.
Yeah, I can already see the difference. It kind of lays flatter.
Yeah, and she still has some more to go through, but
We haven't even shampooed her or anything yet, which we're going to use a special
good girl.
shampoo to help release the undercoat. But gosh, that looks a lot better.
Yeah, and you can see that it's not.
So this actually makes her feel cooler versus shaving it all off.
Yes, because the coat actually acts as an insulator, and people think when your dog's panting that they're hot, but actually that's their way of cooling themselves off.
Yeah,
And
it's like sweating, right?
Yep, and dogs only sweat through their paw pads and on the tip of their noses. Those are the only two spots that your dogs sweat out.
Okay. So when the coat comes back after they're shaved, so it feels like more like a sweater. So that's obviously
Yeah, because
really
instead
uncomfortable
of their
in the
guard
summertime.
hairs growing back, the undercoat is always the first thing to grow back because the undercoat's made to grow back and come out, unlike the guard hairs are.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we learned a lot today. Thank you, Sadie.
Good job, Sadie.